Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Today we will continue with the electrochemical methods of analysis part 2. So here first thing that we will know is basic concepts in electrochemistry. In electrochemical cell, the current flows from anode to cathode and there is a battery source, and the movement of electrons is opposite to the movement of the current. In fuel cell, there is some kind of oxidation and reduction involved. In electrolysis cells, the current also flows from anode to cathode and the oxidation and reduction take place in the presence of some solution also. Electrochemical cell. An electrochemical cell typically consists of two electronic conductors, also called electrodes, an ionic conductor which is known as electrolyte. So two electronic conductors we can denote with electrodes, and ionic conductor we can denote with electrolyte. Modes of charge transport. Charge transport in the electrodes occurs via the motion of electrons or holes. Charge transport in the electrolyte occurs via the motion of ions, which are positive or negative ions. Reactions, half cell and overall. At each electrode, an electrochemical reaction occurs. This reaction is called a half cell reaction. Since there are two electrodes in a typical cell at which reaction occurs, the overall chemical reaction of the cell is given by combining the two individual half cell reactions. Half cell reactions are of two types: oxidation reactions and reduction reactions. A reaction is classified as oxidation or reduction depending on the direction of electron transfer. Oxidation and reduction energetics are shown here with the potential diagram. In potential diagram, some orbitals are occupied, and then after some time, with the involvement of electron, they shift from lower state to the higher state. Similarly, with a different opposite spin, the occupied orbitals make and create an electron hole in which the electron goes from their already stable state to the downward state by losing an electron. Oxidation involves the loss of an electron. It involves the transfer of electrons from the species to the electrode. Oxidation is an energetic process and occurs when the energy of the electrode dips below the highest occupied molecular orbital of the compound. Similarly, reduction involves the gain of the electrons. Involvement of the transfer of electrons from the electrode to the species. Reduction is also an energetic process and occurs when the energy of the electrode increases above the lowest vacant molecular orbital of the compound. Example of electrochemical cells involves like zinc and copper. Metal plates are placed in a solution of their respective sulfates like copper sulfate and zinc sulfate. By a difference of this semi-permeable membrane, and when the electrons transfers from one part to the another part, there is a flow of energy. Zinc metal gets oxidized and goes into the solution. Copper ions in solution get reduced, copper metal deposited on the copper electrode. Electrons for reduction obtained from the zinc electrode external wire. Sulfate ions migrate through the membrane, react with the zinc ion to form zinc sulfate. Electrode at which the oxidation reaction occurs is called the anode, and at which the reduction reaction occurs is called the cathode. Thus, in the above example, the zinc electrode was the anode and the copper electrode was the cathode. Working and counter electrodes. The electrode at which the reaction of interest occurs is called the working electrode. The electrode at which the other coupled reaction occurs is called the counter electrode. A third electrode called the reference electrode may also be used. What gets oxidized? In previous example, zinc was oxidized and copper was reduced. For a given set of two reversible redox reactions, thermodynamics predicts which reaction proceeds as an oxidation and which proceeds as a reduction reaction. So electrode potential. The electrode potential for a reaction is derived directly from the free energy change for the reaction, as shown from this equation. The standard oxidation potential is equal in magnitude but opposite in sign to the standard reduction potential. Competing reactions. For a set of two competing reactions, the reaction with the lower standard reduction potential gets oxidized. The other reaction proceeds as a reduction reaction. Thus, in the above example of zinc and copper, zinc is getting oxidized and copper is getting reduced. In rational, we can say that the overall reaction of the cell is cathode minus anode, and it can also be denoted by minus an Fe cell. For a feasible reaction, the reaction in cell must be positive so that the delta G of the cell is negative. We can recall thermodynamic criteria for the feasibility. Therefore, cathode minus anode is greater than 0 or cathode is greater than anode. Since oxidation occurs at the anode, the species with the lower reduction potential will get oxidized. This is to ensure that delta G is negative. That is why zinc got oxidized and copper gets reduced. If the reverse were to occur, the overall electrodes in the cell would be minus 1.102, leading to a positive delta G cell. What is Faraday's law? Relationship between the quantity of current, which we also can say that the quantity of charge passed through a system, and the quantity of electrochemical change that occurs due to the passage of the current. The mathematical statement of Faraday's law is M is equal to MIT over NF, where M is the mass of the substance, capital M is the molecular weight of the substance, I is current passed, T is time for which the current is passed, N number of electrons transferred, F Faraday's constant. The key concept of this is the amount of chemical change is proportional to the amount of the current passed. Faraday's second law can be stated as restatement of the first law for a fixed quantity of charge passing through the system. Faradaic processes that obey Faraday's law are termed Faradaic processes. All these processes involve electron transfer at an electrode or electrolytic interference. All these processes involve electron transfer at an electrode or electrolyte interface. These reactions are also called electron charge transfer reactions. Electrodes at which these processes occurs are called charge transfer electrodes. Non-Faradaic processes are sometimes change exists in the electrode or electrolyte interface without charge transfer taking place. These changes are due to processes such as adsorption and desorption. Such processes are called non-Faradaic processes. No electron flow through the electrode or electrolyte interface during the non-Faradaic process. However, transient external current can be generated by non-Faradaic processes. More on non-Faradaic process. Faradaic process interests us the most. Therefore, care must be taken to ensure that the Effect of non-Faraday process are understood and quantified. Some example of non-Faraday process are discussed in the following. First of all, ideal polarized electrode. An electrode at which there is no change An electrode at which there is no charge transfer across the electrode or electrolyte interference over all potential ranges is called an ideally polarized electrode. Example of ideally polarized electrodes are: none exists that can cover the entire potential range in solution. A mercury electrode in contact with deaerated potassium chloride behaves as an ideally potential electrode over a potential range of approximately 2 volts. Other electrodes are ideally polarized over much smaller ranges. Behavior of an ideally polarized electrode. Recall, no charge transfer possible at IPE electrolyte interface. The behavior of such an interface when the potential across the electrode is changed resembles that of a plane capacitor. An IPE follows the standard capacitor equation. The mathematical equation can be shown as Q is equal to CD and capital E. Q here is the charge stored in coulombs. CD is the capacitance in farads. E is potential across the capacitor. When voltage is applied across an IPE, the electrical double layer is charged until this equation is obeyed. During charging, a charging current follows through the system. Significance of charging currents contributes to total current measured, cannot be ignored, especially for low Faraday current, may exceed Faraday currents in such cases. To better understand the effect of charging, we need to examine mathematically the response of an IPE to various electrochemical stimuli. Model representation of an IPE. The IPE system can be represented as capacitance, which is known as CD, in series with the electrolyte resistance, which is known as RS. Application of potential step. From this graph, we can see that the potential applied current can be made smoother. Input. A potential step is applied, the potential is raised from an initial value to a higher value and held at higher value. Results of potential step application. The double layer is charged. The applied voltage must equal to the sum of the voltage drop across the resistor and capacitor. We can say that by applying Ohm's law, we can solve these equations. By definition, current is the rate of flow of charge, therefore I is equal to dq over dt. Equation 10 then can be rewrite as shown here. Initial condition that the capacitor is initially uncharged, so the solution of the equation 2 can be written like this. Time dependence of charging current we can show by the previous driven equation. It describes the time dependence of the charging current in response to a potential step. Here the current is raised and made smoother and applied here. The practical significance: the product of RS and CD has unit of time called time constant. For typical value of RS and CD, the charging current dies down to an insignificant level in a few hundred microseconds. Any Faraday current must be measured after this time period to avoid the influence of the charging current. This is the end of electrochemical methods introduction part 2. Thank you so much.